Hello dear students, how are you doing? Yes, I've been receiving numerous requests for your Julius Caesar. Yes, my class 9 students, apologies for being so late, but not to worry, your Shubhajoy sir is here and we shall be starting with your Julius Caesar Act 1 Scene 1 today. So, as I always keep reminding you, I've been using this Oxford edition of your Julius Caesar. This is edited by your Roma Gill. This is recommended by the council and I would request you to all follow this edition only. Alright, so your Act 1 Scene 1 begins on a street of Rome. Enters Flavius and Marulus and some citizens. Now who are these Flavius and Marulus? To be very simplistic, Flavius and Marulus, like in today's day, we have the law keepers, the officers who go and report to the higher administrative officers. Flavius and Marulus are one of those, okay? They are the tribunes, okay, in charge of maintaining the law and order. So enter Flavius, Marulus and some citizens. Flavius: "Hence home, you idle creatures, get you home. Is this a holiday? What? Know you not? Being mechanical, you ought not walk upon a labouring day without the sign of your profession. Speak, what trade art thou?" So Flavius enters in a very annoyed mood, okay? And he says, "Get away, get back to home, you idle creatures. You people without any work, get you home, get back home. Is this a holiday? What, know you not, being mechanical, you ought not walk upon a labouring day?" Being a normal walking day, you're supposed to know that you shouldn't be roaming around without the sign of your profession. In other words, where's your ID cards? Like in today's day, we have our ID cards whenever we go to office. Similarly, in fact, in most of the schools also you are reprimanded for not wearing your ID cards. Yes. Similar manner, Flavius also, shouts at these people for not carrying the mark of their profession with them. And then he asks, "Speak, what trade art thou? Tell me, what is your profession?" The first citizen: "Why, sir, a carpenter." He's a bhola bhala kind of a person. And he tells, "Why, sir, I'm just a normal carpenter." "Where is thy leather apron and thy rule? What dost thou with thy best apparel on? You, sir, what trade are you?" Where is thy leather apron? So if you say you're a carpenter, Marulus says, "Where is your leather apron? And where is thy rule?" Rule is the ruler, with which he does his measurement. The carpenter is supposed to measure things and then do the cutting and chiseling. So where is your ruler? "What dost thou with thy best apparel on? And why are you wearing the best of your clothes today? Tell me, why?" And then he turns around to another citizen and asks, "You, sir, what trade are you? What is your profession?" Second citizen, this second citizen is not as bhola bhala as the first one. Alright? So what does he say? He says, "Truly, sir, in respect of a fine workman, I am but, as you would say, a cobbler." He doesn't directly say I'm a cobbler. He says I'm a fine workman. And then he says, "You could call me a cobbler." Marulus: "But what trade art thou? Answer me directly." Marulus couldn't take, that the second citizen is answering in a roundabout manner. So he says, "Tell me, what is your trade? Answer me directly." "A trade, sir, that I hope I may use with a safe conscience, which is indeed, sir, a mender of bad souls." So second citizen is an absolute naughty fellow, you see. He says, "A trade, sir, that I may use with safe conscience." In other words, I'm not guilty of practicing the trade. "Which is indeed, sir, a mender of bad souls. S-O-L-E-S. But then he's punning on the word S-O-L-E and S-O-U-L. So he says, I am a cobbler who mends soles. That is S-O-L-E. You see? So, if your shoes have worn out, I can mend it. And if you're a bad human being, I can mend your S-O-U-L. So he's being extremely naughty. What trade, thou knave, thou naughty knave? What trade? Marulus is very frustrated because he's not getting direct replies, and he couldn't tolerate this. So he says, what trade, tell me, what is your profession, you naughty fellow? Second citizen, nay, I beseech you, sir, be not out with me, yet if you be out, sir, I can mend you. He says, oh sir, please do not get angry with me. But even if you are getting angry with me, all I can do is mend you. See, the second citizen is deliberately trying to irritate Marulus. He knows very well that thanks to his oratory skills, Marulus will never be able to catch him. Okay. So, what meanest thou by that? Marulus is very frustrated. What are you trying to say? Mend your soul means? Mend me, thou saucy fellow. He's abusing. Second citizen, why sir, cobble you? Oh my god, sir, why are you getting so annoyed? I just said I can cobble you. That is, if your shoes get worn out, I can mend them. But did he actually mean that? No, certainly not. You see, he was hinting at the mending of soul, S-O-U-L of Marulus. Thou art a cobbler, art thou? So Flavius intervenes, says, oh, so you're a cobbler, is that you? Truly, sir, all that I live by is with the all. Again, there is a pun on all, A-W-L all and A-L-L all. So A-W-L all means that tripod kind of an instrument in which the cobblers keep the leather and then chisel out shoes out of it. And so the second citizen says, truly sir, all that I live by is with the all. Everything that I live by is with the all, because that is my main tool in the profession. I meddle with no tradesman matter. I do not poke my blunt nose in any man's matter, nor women's matter. And then he's being very, very specific. He's saying, I do not poke my nose in any man's matter, and I do not poke my nose in any woman's matters as well. But withal, I am indeed, sir, a surgeon to old shoes. So he is a very good orator. You see, he says, I am a surgeon to old shoes. That is, when your shoes get worn out, I stitch them up. When they are in great danger, I recover them. Most of our shoes come out, right, with long walks. So he says, when they are in great danger, I recover them. I make them almost new. As proper men as ever trod upon neat's leather have gone upon my handiwork. As proper men, a gentleman is known by the kind of shoes he wears. Okay, so here also he's saying, if there is any gentleman in Rome who walks on the street of Rome, and if they're walking with any kind of proper shoes, then that means I have made them. Alright? Flavius, but whereof art not in thy shop today? Okay, so if you're a cobbler, why aren't you in your shop today? Why dost thou lead these men about the street? What are you doing? Why are you on the street with all the rest of the people? Truly, sir, to wear out their shoes, to get myself into more work. He does not say that he is on the street actually out for celebrations. He says, I'm out on the street because I want these people to walk more with me, so that their shoes get worn out and I in turn get more work. But indeed, sir, we make a holiday to see Caesar and to rejoice in his triumph. So my first reason is, I want to make these people walk more so that their shoes get worn out very easily. But the second most important reason is, I wish to see Caesar return back home triumphantly, victoriously. Where is Caesar returning from? Caesar is returning from the, tell me? Yes, Caesar is returning from the civil war that he's fought with Pompey, and he's become victorious. Okay? Marulus is very annoyed to hear that they wish to see Caesar. Marulus, wherefore rejoice? What is that happiness for? What conquest brings he home? What tributaries follow him to Rome? To grace in captive bonds his chariot wheels? You blocks, you stones, you worse than senseless things? Oh, you hard hearts, you cruel men of Rome. Marulus is very annoyed. He says, what conquest brings he home? What achievement has he brought? What has he achieved till death? What tributaries follow him to Rome? You know, when in those days, if you have captured a place, if you have conquered a place, then you were expected to bring all the men and the women from that place to your place. Okay, in captivity. The men would be bonded labor and the woman would, satisfy rest of the men in this new country. Okay, for obvious reasons. So Marulus is asking, what tributaries follow him to Rome? So what is he bringing? How many people is he bringing to Rome? To grace in captive bonds his chariot wheels. How many people is he bringing in along with his chariot wheels? And then he abuses the people like anything. He says, you blocks, you stones, you worse than senseless things. You idiots, you have no brain, no emotions, nothing. Oh, you hard hearts, you cruel-hearted people, you cruel men of Rome. Knew you not of Pompey? Did you forget Pompey? Many a time and often have you climbed up to the walls and battlements, to towers and windows, yea, to chimney tops, your infants in your arms, and there have sat the livelong day with patient expectation to see great Pompey pass the streets of Rome. So you've so quickly forgotten Pompey. How ungrateful you are. What have you done on previous occasion? Many a times you have climbed high up on the walls and to the battlements, that is the roofs of the castles. You have also climbed the towers and the windows to the chimney tops, and you haven't climbed alone there. You even carried your infants in your arms, newborn babies in your arms, just to see Pompey pass by. And so soon have you forgotten them? And that you're celebrating Caesar's victory. How ungrateful y'all are. How fickle-minded y'all are. And there sat the livelong day with patient expectation to see great Pompey pass the streets of Rome. And there, after climbing those high walls, what did you do? You waited there for the entire day just to see Pompey pass by. You've forgotten all of it so easily. And when you saw his chariot but appear, have you not made an universal shout that Tiber trembled underneath her banks to hear the replication of your sounds made in her concave shores? And what did you do? When Pompey's chariot came, you all gave such an unanimous shout that even the water in river Tiber trembled, and it started overflowing its bank almost with the echo of your sounds. And do you now put on your best attire? And do you now cull out a holiday? And do you now strew flowers in his way that comes in triumph over Pompey's blood? Such shameless. Y'all have done so much. And now what are y'all doing? Y'all have put on your best of clothes. You have called out a holiday on a normal working day. And you're throwing flowers on the way in which Caesar is coming. And all this for whom? For Caesar, who has defeated that same very Pompey. How ungrateful y'all are. Flavius and Marulus are extremely agitated to see this fickle-mindedness of the mob. Be gone, run to your houses, fall upon your knees, pray to the gods to intermit the plague that needs must light on this ingratitude. So they're saying, get lost, go back to your home and pray to God that the plague which will befall on you for being so disloyal, disobedient, pray so that it is delayed. Flavius, go, good countrymen, and for this fault assemble all the poor men of your sort, draw them to Tiber bank and weep your tears into the channel till the lowest stream do kiss the most exalted shores of all. Flavius, exaggerates the thing, and he goes on to say, what are you supposed to do, poor men? Y'all are supposed to all go and collect all the men of your sort who were celebrating Caesar's victory over Pompey's blood. And then what are you supposed to do? Y'all are supposed to come and assemble near the bank of river Tiber and weep so much that even Tiber overflows. And then they all are hushed out of the stage. Eggs went all the citizens. See where the basest metal be not moved, they vanish tongue-tied in their guiltiness. So Flavius is saying, see how they went out? They were absolutely tongue-tied, they were absolutely flabbergasted, they were absolutely dumbstruck to realize their guilt. Go you down that way towards the Capitol, this way will I. And then he instructs Marulus that you go that way, I'll go this way. You go towards the Capitol. Now, Capitol is a temple of god Jupiter. Okay, they used to worship Jupiter, so Jupiter had a temple called the Capitol. So Flavius tells Marulus that you go towards the Capitol and I'll go this way. Disrobe the images if you do find them decked with ceremonies. So what have these citizens done is, they have decorated all the streets with streamers and festoons of sort. Okay, so Flavius instructs Marulus, you go towards the Capitol and I'll go this way. And wherever we see those decorations being put up, we will bring them down. Marulus, may we do so? It is the feast of Lupercal. Should we do so? It is the feast of Lupercal. Now, feast of Lupercal was a very, very celebrated festival of Rome. This was celebrated in honor of the goddess of plenty. Like we have our Nobanno, where then there is in the south also there is Pongal in Hyderabad and all that areas. We have our Nobanno in West Bengal. So similarly, the feast of Lupercal, it was celebrated in expectation of good harvest. Alright, so it says there's a festival already going on. Not already going on, it is approaching. Maybe people have, decked up the streets and all for that also. So will it be justified if we bring them down? So long Marulus was very confident and he was coming out as an administrator. But here we see a different shade in Marulus's character. He is a bit hesitant in his approach. It is no matter. Let no images be hung with Caesar's trophies. And Flavius, like the principal of a school, gives out the instruction. No, nothing doing. Let it be there. Let no images be hung with Caesar's trophies. Let there be no celebration. Let there be no decorations with Caesar's images. I will about and drive away the vulgar from the streets. So do you too. So he calls these decorations vulgar because this is not in honor of Pompey but in honor of Caesar. Had this been, in honor of Pompey, this very decorations would not have been vulgar but very, very sober. So biasness of the law holders. Okay. So I will about and drive away the vulgar from the streets, and so do you too, where you perceive them thick. Wherever you see them, gathered and decorated, you also remove all of them. These growing feathers plucked from Caesar's wing will make him fly an ordinary pitch. This growing popularity of Caesar, if only subdued now, will make him, fly an ordinary pitch, will make him as on a same pedestal, will keep him on the same ground as you and I. Else what will happen? Who else would soar above the view of men and keep us all in servile fearfulness? If we cannot subdue Caesar now, he is going to be like a falcon, flying high and high and high all above our heads. Okay, and he is going to rule us. So Flavius and Marullus are very worried, and they compare Caesar with that of a falcon. The figure of speech here used is being a metaphor. Says, if Caesar is made to soar, is allowed to soar like a falcon, then he is certainly going to rule over us and keep us under him. So we cannot let that happen. Saying this, they leave, and next begins your Act 1, Scene 1. But that you have to wait in the next video. Act 1, Scene 1 is very important from the play's perspective. Why? Because you see, the opening scenes of Shakespeare usually strike the keynote of the plays, what the play is going to be. So Act 1, Scene 1 introduces us with, if not the main characters immediately, but gives us the hint of who our protagonist is going to be. It's of course Caesar, number 1. Number 2, it sets the tone of the play. That is, this is going to be an extremely political play. And thirdly, it gives out the most important idea of the social structure, the class structure, and the behavior of the mob. Social structure, class structure is evident in the way the common men behave in society here in Act 1, Scene 1, and how the hierarchy functions in constantly subduing them. Okay, so the exposition this way is done in Act 1, Scene 1 of your Julius Caesar. I hope I could explain this quite lucidly to you. So if you find this video easy and interesting, please give me a like. It will keep me motivated and help me to continue to do more videos on your Julius Caesar. Also, do not forget to subscribe to my channel if you wish to receive more such videos. Alright, we'll come back soon with Act 1, Scene 1. Till then, goodbye, have fun.